Hello everybody, my name is Greg Summers. I'm with the Student Pilot Journal Aviation Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 15th, 2012, and this is episode number 40. This episode of Student Pilot Journal Aviation Podcast is brought to you by Corodyne Aviation Systems product Log 10 Pro for Mac, iPhone, and iPad. Log 10 Pro 6 is the most powerful, flexible, and easy-to-use electronic log on the market and is now in the App Store. Easily import your data, customize it to your needs, track certificates, ratings, endorsements, medicals, and flight reviews, then have your instructor digitally sign your log. My flying, my passion, my logbook. Learn more at corodyne.com. I started out this podcast back in 2007 when I was training for my private pilot's license. And I received my license in June or May 31st of 2008. So I wanted to just, like every podcast, I usually start out talking a little bit. And kind of sticking with the theme of Student Pilot Journal, because that's what I was originally wanting to do, is just journal my progress. And it was kind of meant for a private journal, but I figured that most people could benefit from seeing someone go through the same struggles that they might go through when learning how to fly. Especially a person that has a day job and, you know, has to take time from family and working to focus on something that's completely new, and that's what it was to me. And it was always it was a struggle for the first I'd say first 15 hours or so. It was pretty difficult. After that, you know, you start getting in your own little groove, and especially if you're training a lot. So here's my point for the beginning of this podcast. When you're flying a lot, like I was, and then, you know, when you're training, you're thinking, this is great. When I get my license, I'm going to go everywhere. I'm going to fly my family everywhere. It's an opportunity. And that's what we all train for. Well, most people, you know, unless you're going for a career. You think there's no way that you could not fly, you know, for a month. Well, here it is. I've had 4, 6 months, 7-month breaks. And I've said it in other podcasts, and life happens, you know. But every time I go up now, it seems that I'm in a state of refreshing. And, you know, even on the last podcast, we flew the 152 and did some basic maneuvers, things like that. And those are fine. You know, you go up there, those come back pretty quickly. But I think, you know, yesterday we took off from Melbourne and we just did a standard, just call it a joy flight over to Merritt Island Airport. That's KCOI. And so we just did a standard fly over there, you know, stop and taxi back. But, you know, from Melbourne, as soon as you turn north, you're pretty much, it butts right up against Patrick Air Force Base. So you have to quickly transition through their airspace. So you have, you know, the handoff from there, transition through their airspace. Immediately, Merritt Island's pretty close, so you know, get off the frequency for Patrick, and then, you know, of course, start monitoring Unicom over there, seeing who's in the pattern. Merritt Island can be kind of crazy. People don't call, you know, it's, you know, an uncontrolled airport. What Casey and I talked about is, it's really a good idea, and I don't know when I'll ever get to that point, but, you know, you have yourself a schedule. that you can say, you know what, after I get my license, I'm going to fly X number of times per month, or, this is what I need to maintain my proficiency. The last thing I want to talk about is last week I featured a sponsor of ours, and it is called Log10 Pro. It's an electronic logbook software. Really, really awesome product, and they've got a great team. I've talked to a couple of those guys there. They're very good about helping you out with your previous versions of Log10, or if you're coming from another logbook, they will actually help convert your data into their format and help you import it. Really, really fast and responsive. And on top of that, the products are just great. They've got it for the Mac, they've got it for the iPad and the iPhone. And now the iPhone and the iPad, and now it's a universal app, so you'll save a little bit of money by purchasing them both at the same time, or purchasing that one universal product. They all sync together over Wi-Fi, so you're tracking your flight time. You can, come home, get on the Wi-Fi, sends it straight to your MacBook. So in today's podcast, you're going to see a little demo of the Mac version of it. Casey's going to talk a little bit about some features there and how he uses it. And this can be used by all pilots, airline pilots, private pilots. I've been using the Mac version since probably 2009. It's a really, really neat software. But anyway, you'll see a short video on that, and you can visit them at Coradine.com. That's CORADINE.com.
1830 Sierra Pop, Melbourne Tower, runway 5, clear for takeoff, turn on course approved.
Clear for takeoff, 1830 Sierra Papa.
Melbourne information, India, current altimeter 3019er.
Melbourne Tower, 1830 Sierra Papa. I gotta get a frequency change for Patrick.
3 Sierra Papa, free exchange approved. Have a good day.
Thanks, frequency change approved, 3 Sierra Papa.
There you go. Okay, if you want to get here's Merritt Islands frequencies, there's an AWAS 119.025.
119.0,
02.
Point 18 altimeter 3020 remark. Density altitude 1,100. Merritt Island Airport. Automated weather observation 2101 Zulu weather. Wind 080 at 12. Visibility 10. Clear below 12,000. Temperature 27 Celsius. Dew point
108 at 12. What's the
And might not be a bad idea. Just put that one down in number 2. That way we can listen to it as we're flying here. Because once we get out of Patrick's airspace, we're like right on top of Merritt Island, so it'd be nice to know what's going on there. Yeah, there you go. Just kind of keep an ear on it. What's your plan for entering the...
My plane 311 out 3.
Entering the pattern?
So I can come around to get in the left downwind, right?
Oh, it worked, yeah.
So kind of circle out over the water there.
What I might do instead of doing that, if you want to do that loop all the way around, is do a midfield and then like a right teardrop into the downwind.
Yeah, I need to practice that more because I never do that. This thing is really annoying.
If you want, I can fly while you... If you want to move that down here.
Go ahead.
I have the controls. I'm just going to let Patrick know we're clear of the airspace.
Okay.
Wow, same thing for me.
And Patrick, you go, 3 Sierra Papa is clear of your airspace to the north.
3 Sierra Papa, Roger, concur for exchange approved.
For exchange approved, yeah.
Did you hear what I said? Eagle flight?
Yes. That's fine.
Ground traffic by plane 169, crossing 11, Bravo 1.
That's funny. Oh, that's better.
Alright, you have the controls.
Okay.
1 Bravo 2.
Final looks clear.
I'm really high. Oh man. Drops like a rock anyway. Sorry.
Fingers on the push stop. Yeah, let's make this one a stop and taxi back. Well, you get points for making the landing and
Correction, we're at 1,700.
actually in the touchdown zone, shockingly. thanks to the headwind and the 40 degrees of flaps, but
Oh gosh.
minus points on the definitely not a stabilized approach.
Oh, it's pretty much a stabilized dive.
Stabilized dive, yeah.
Man, I suck. I need to fly more.
Yeah, I mean, you were in pretty close on the downwind there, and then I mean, you turned in. I would say at about the right time for a, you know, if you were a little bit further away, you know, a normal pattern, but you were just it's just so close.
So close to just.
You were so close in,
Yeah.
you know, in on the downwind laterally, yeah.
Sucked.
Alright, hey there guys, just wanted to show you a few more really cool things in Log 10 Pro. I've got it up here on my MacBook, and one of the really neat things that Log 10 Pro has available is this Smart Groups section down here. And right now the only smart group I have is multi-engine time. You know, it's useful to me to see how much multi-time I've logged, regardless of what type of plane it is. But I'm also just going to show you another way that you can use this and create a new smart group. Basically, a smart group is just a way to kind of slice your flight time any way you want it. So, I mean, the examples of this are like almost endless, but I'm just going to say, let's say I wanted to know how many hours I flew in 2011 in a certain aircraft, a certain tail number. So I'm going to call this 2011, and 183 Sierra Papa is one of our flying club planes, our 172. So first thing is to choose a date range. I'm just going to say a fixed date. Starts 1/1/2011. And ends at the end of the year. Okay. So aircraft ID begins with November 183. And then if I wanted to, you know, I could add other metrics as well. Let's say I wanted to do flights in our 172, 183 Sierra Papa that also had more than one landing, you know, or the flight time was more than 2 hours or something like that. You know, anything. You can even combine the criteria. So that's really cool. And then I'm just going to press OK. And here it is. So it brings up in my logbook all the flights I've taken in the 172 in 2011, and just tells me a total. I've flown 111 hours, I guess, last year in the 172. Whole lot of time. Okay, and then the one other thing that I wanted to show you, which is probably honestly my favorite feature in Log 10 Pro, is the syncing capability. So I've got, here's my iPhone. The last time I synced was February 22nd. I've taken some flights since then. Basically all you have to do is have your phone and your computer on the same Wi-Fi network, and just open Log 10 on each of them. And then, so I've just opened it on my phone, and it just kind of gives me the option to now sync it. I'm going to press sync now, and it just goes through goes through and pulls the data. So I've got a bunch of flights that I have on my phone that I haven't yet migrated over to the computer. And it's pretty quick process. Doesn't take too much time, and really neat. But I think I mentioned this in the last episode that was my least favorite part of all the other electronic logbooks I've ever had, is just that it's a real pain to go in and input all of the data. But this way it's just all right there for me. So now I've got these new flights that I've taken.
Merit Island traffic, Cessna 130 Sierra Papa is departing runway 11, Merit Island.
Traffic number 142, number left crossway 11, Merit Island.
All good?
All good.
There we go. There you go. Traffic number 142, number left 1, Merit Island.
Merit Island traffic, Cessna 183 Sierra Papa is turning left crosswind, will depart from the left downwind to the south. Merit Island.
Merit Island traffic, Logbook biplane 30169, depart runway 11, will be the early right turnout to the southeast.
See the traffic on downwind up there?
Yeah. He's landing again, right?
He's landing, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just continue on downwind for a little bit. That biplane just called. He said he's doing an early turnout to the southeast, and my guess is his climb rate's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Traffic 142, number left base 11, Merit Island.
Merit Island can be a sketchy place.
Sketchy. Patrick Tower, Cessna 183 Sierra Papa, 1700, looking to transition from north to south, west bank of the river.
Okay, aircraft transitioning north to south, transitions approved, altimeter 3019er. Say your call sign.
183 Sierra Papa.
183 Sierra Papa, roger.
Patrick Tower, Logbook biplane 30169er.
Logbook biplane 169er,
And the last altimeter was...
Logbook 169er, shift off Merit Island, is climbing through 600 feet for 1,000, about 5 miles northwest of your field. Like to proceed through your class Delta NFA, below approach left base for runway 02, followed by northbound on the shoreline.
Logbook biplane 169er, roger. Transition southbound is approved, altimeter 3019er, report left base for runway 2.
3019, approach left base, runway 2, 169.
That biplane?
Yeah, where was he going?
Patrick.
Oh, really? Huh.
I didn't know you could do
And
that.
Logbook biplane, verify passing through 200, climbing.
Okay, say again for Logbook 169er.
Roger, verify you're passing through 400 now, sir.
Negative, I'm 900, indicated.
Roger.
Huh. Wonder... That's interesting.
183 Sierra Papa, say your altitude.
2,000 feet, 3 Sierra Papa.
3 Sierra Papa, roger.
Always rusty. God dang it.
So, kind of just like when we were taking off, going into Patrick's airspace, you know, the two airspaces butt up against each other, so you want to be ready to go back into Melbourne. So while we have a little time, I'd, you know, listen to the ATIS, have tower frequency and standby. Hey, look, there's Greg's house. Somewhere. Actually, no, I see it.
Temperature 24 dew point 17, altimeter 3019er.
There it is. Yeah.
Visual approach in use, landing and departing, runway 9er right, 9er left, and runway 5. Approaches are being conducted to parallel and converging runways. Hazardous weather information for Florida and coastal waters available on high watts, flight watch, and flight service frequencies. Notice to airmen, there are several unlighted obstruction towers in the Melbourne class Delta at or below 321 feet AGL. FIT Aviation FBO requires prior permission for transient aircraft parking. VFR departures advise ground control your direction of flight. On initial contact advise India.
India.
Melbourne International Airport information, India, METAR 2053 Zulu. Wind 050 at 11, visibility 10 miles, sky condition few at 4,000. Temperature 24, dew point 17, altimeter 3019er. Visual approach in use, landing and departing, runway 9er right, 9er left, and runway 5. Approaches are being conducted to parallel and converging runways. Hazardous weather information for Florida and coastal waters available on high watts, flight watch, and flight service frequencies.
Okay, India.
India, so when you are coming in this way, their airspace, so you would say, where would you report from here?
From report into Melbourne?
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of a local knowledge thing, but a lot of times Patrick will ask you to report over Pineda, so I would just go ahead and do that, and they'll probably give you a frequency change, and you can call Melbourne and tell them the same thing.
So Patrick already asked me to report, or?
They didn't, but a lot of times they do, and that's kind of like their point for when they give you a handoff, or when they give you a frequency change.
Over Pineda, I can say 3 Sierra Papa.
Over Pineda, yeah.
Patrick Tower, 3 Sierra Papa's over Pineda.
3 Sierra Papa, Roger, concur. Frequency change approved. Melbourne 118.2, see ya.
Frequency change approved, 3 Sierra Papa.
Alco biplane 169, check with.
I can just tell them I'm all over.
Over Pineda.
617 Fox Tango, right at Charlie, taxi to the ramp, monitor ground, point 9.
Right at Charlie, monitor ground to the ramp.
Juliet.
617
India.
India. Melbourne Tower, 183 Sierra Papa is over Pineda, inbound for full stop South Sea hangars.
Now 183 Sierra Papa, say your position again.
Just past the Pineda Causeway from the north.
183 Sierra Papa, Roger. Enter a, just maintain VFR at or above 1,500 and enter a left downwind for runway 5.
At or above 1,500, left downwind for runway 5, 3 Sierra Papa.
Fit 03 is clear to land runway 5.
Clear to land runway 5 at 03.
Number 3 Sierra Papa, number 2, follow Cherokee, short final runway 5, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 5 after the Cherokee, 3 Sierra Papa. I don't even see him.
Up at the carpet. He's on short final. He'll be no fact.
Fit 03, turn left at Romeo and kind of ground point 9.
Left at Romeo, contact ground point 9, Fit 03.
Number 3 Sierra Papa, did you have a disinformation in India?
Yeah, affirmative, 3 Sierra Papa.
Thank you.
Melbourne Tower, Fit 38, holding short runway 5, ready for departure.
Fit 38, Melbourne Tower, hold short runway 5, traffic landing.
Holding short runway 5, Fit 38.
Melbourne Tower, Fit 09 is going around.
Fit 09, Roger. Number 310 Charlie Lima, cross runway 9 or left and taxi to the ramp.
Cross 9 left to ramp, 0 Charlie Lima, thanks.
Fit 15, runway 9 or left, cleared, touch and go.
Runway 9 or left, clear, touch and go, Fit 15. Yeah, Melbourne Tower, Fit 09 would like one more touch and go and full stop back at FIT if possible.
Fit 09, Roger.
Melbourne Tower, fit 81, GPS runway 9 right, approach with you.
Fit 81 Melbourne Tower, report 4 DMA.
Report 4 DMA, fit 81.
Number 3 Sierra Papa, when able, turn right and you taxi to the southeast.
3 Sierra Papa, turn right.
Carrying too much speed there? I thought I was right on.
Sorry, say that again. My connection is bad over here, was it?
I didn't think I was carrying too much speed there, but apparently I was when I landed.
Oh, the balloon or what?
Yeah.
Fit 3 Melbourne Tower, runway 5, right turn, correction.
Oh, you're pretty much on speed. I mean, you can still balloon.
March straight out, Fit 3, runway 5, clear for takeoff.
Alright, so we just got back from flying here at Melbourne in the 172, and it's been a while. I guess it's been since about October since Greg has flown the 172, and we both just kind of noticed a little sloppy, and things weren't coming quite as quickly as they normally would, which happens when you don't fly as often as you probably should. We're in a club situation here. The plane has actually been down, I guess actually since October. Maybe for an engine change. It's just kind of out of our hands. But anyways, just a few things. It felt like his flying was still solid overall, but we talked about a few things like being a little too close in the pattern, and planning a nice square pattern rather than coming in, and there was just a lot of power changes. Some things that were kind of straying from what I would call a normal standard pattern. So on the way back, we were just kind of talking, and I was thinking a lot about the concept of what is a proficient pilot versus just a current pilot. The FAA has certain currency requirements. I'm sure a lot of you guys that are pilots are aware of, 3 takeoffs and landings within 90 days to carry passengers, flight review every other year. So the FAA has these currency items in place, but just because you're current, does that necessarily mean that you're a proficient pilot? So something we're going to talk about in a future podcast is just that. How do you maintain your proficiency as you after you get your license? Because when you get your license, you're training all the time, right? I mean, I don't know how often you flew. Is like once a week, or I mean, it's more than that. It was like twice, 3 times a week, something like that.
Your confidence level is definitely higher than what it is right now.
Yeah, so you're training, you're flying multiple times a week, or even once a week, and most people, once they get their license, realistically they don't fly that often. So anyways, something in the future podcast.